How do I know if somebody got on here? We're telling me. I'm gonna start a live video. Just getting on here real quick. Hey, Syed. Alright, got one viewer. Thanks, Syed, for being my one viewer. Got on here real quick just to see if anybody would get on due to the recent announcements of Halloween Horror Nights. Shaw. My bad, Shaw. I'm gonna call you Shawty. Shawty. What up, Shawty? Damn, you're the only one. Dude, I'm like kind of a little bit sad. My annual Halloween event at Universal Studios just got canceled today. Me. I appreciate your support, viewer for life. How's the hair looking today? I mean, not completely surprised. I thought that it was a possibility, but at the same time, a couple things were occurring that made it seem like it was actually going to happen. The scare actors had been casted and hired. Also, there was a tribute store that was open as well. So there was a couple signs pointing to that the event was still going to happen, and a lot of people thought that announcements were coming, but good announcements, and it ended up being the announcement that it's closing, which is sad, real sad. I mean, I'm sad as hell, but I'm keeping in mind that it probably was for the better. Hello, everybody watching. I got 3 viewers. Hey. Let's see who we got. SoFlo. I'm assuming Southern Florida Explorer. And Yasi. Hey, Yasi. I've seen you. You comment a lot. I appreciate it. How's everybody doing with the news? The Halloween Horror Nights cancellation? Yeah, it's sad, Yasi. I wish it didn't happen. I have my hotel already booked. They're still open for regular operations, so I will not be canceling my trip. I will still be, I was going to say at Halloween Horror Nights, I still will be in Orlando and visiting Universal Studios for the opening weekend, or what would have been the opening weekend of Halloween Horror Nights. I was having this conversation actually with my group of friends, the Booze Brothers, SoCal, the Knights of Horrors, and them, and we were talking about whether or not the lineup will stay the same. They all believe that the lineup will remain. I honestly think that given that they're going to have an additional year, and even this year, the IP lineup was very small. They were being very conservative. So I think next year there may be some similarities, but also a ton of differences. This is an opportunity for them to make the 30th anniversary even larger, which this year was going to be a very conservative 30-year anniversary. So, to be honest, it's in solidarity with California. I think it's going to be amped up. So you think that this year was canceled because California couldn't do it? Is that what you're saying, Yasi? Yeah, I think next year is going to be huge. At least in Orlando, it's the 30th year anniversary, and now they get to do it even bigger. There was no doubt that the pandemic was going to impact how this event was going to run this year. But now, if everything gets better, then next year this gives them the opportunity to go all out. Yeah, see, I agree with you. Yes and no. I think Orlando could have definitely moved forward, but it would have been looked at as maybe like a risky move, and mostly for an event that attracts so many people. And then there's a lot of money that goes into it for them to get these IPs, and then if people were scared and didn't show up, was it really going to be worth it for them? Were we really going to get the event that we deserved for a 30th year anniversary? I mean, next year, the what I've been talking about with some of my friends is everything's liquid. Anything could change. So next year, they could do a lot of things. They could bring back the 1 year when both parks were open, make it a huge event. So Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios could both be open, and if that's the case, they could have 15 houses. 30th year anniversary, 15 houses. That would be crazy, but completely possible. I mean, none of us thought that it could or it was going to get canceled today, and it did. And really, none of the lineup was official. So, although sometimes those lineups are pretty damn close to official, there's usually differences. Abriva for you joined. Hello, Abriva. Any other questions? Yeah. Yeah, if there's 15 houses, I don't think a speed pass is going to get you through them all. It's definitely going to be multiple day visits, which is cool. I mean, if typically I don't live in Florida anymore, I'm originally from Florida, but when I go visit, it's typically like a 5 or 6 day visit, so I could definitely make 2 days out of my stay Halloween Horror Nights, and I could even make every night Halloween Horror Nights. Which, if it was 15 houses, you may just have to make every night Halloween Horror Nights, and definitely if you don't have Speed Pass. Yasi, that's just me throwing something out there, but 15 pounds. I mean, if they have both parks open, that's completely possible. But they would have to have both parks open for 15 houses to occur. And this is just me, like, speaking. None of this has any validity. Yeah, they've done it before. Yossi, they've had both parks open before. And they've had the event at Islands of Adventure. I think it was like I forget what year, but maybe like somewhere between 2000 or Halloween Horror Nights 13 or 12 to Halloween Horror Nights 15. Somewhere in between that time, they had an event at both parks. It was a lot of walking though, so much walking. Yeah, my first year was Halloween Horror Nights 12 with the caretaker, and I had to muster up the courage to go. It was scary. That commercial was scary as hell. I think one thing that we're going to have to do is pick up the merch before the merch is gone. Now, that merch is going to be a hot commodity, and I wonder if they're going to now have a new merch next year for the 30th anniversary. Is this going to be the merch for the 30th anniversary that could have been but never was, and then they'll have a new merch for next year? Yeah, so Flo, J.K. Rowling's not going to let that happen. That's why we never have any of the scare acting in the Wizarding World area. J.K. Rowling just wouldn't let it happen. It'd be great if she would, because we could use the mentors, and that would be super cool. And Halloween in Hogwarts would be super cool, but unfortunately, I don't think that's a possibility, at least no time soon. Yeah, Japan has the Death Eaters and all that stuff, and I think they also have Dementors, but they play on different rules. They don't care. They're not necessarily following the same rules that we follow here in the U.S., and they're not held to those rules either. They don't have to follow them. But here, our licensing agreement doesn't allow us to overlay Halloween Horror Nights. For some years, the actual Diagon Alley wouldn't even open. It closed for Halloween Horror Nights. Oh, you got the pin in the socks? How do you like them? What time is it? It's 12:33. I'm on my lunch break at work. Just wanted to do this real quick. I am gonna log off unless you guys have any other questions. Nope. I don't see any other questions. Well, Yasi, SoFlo, everybody else who logged on and was watching, thank you so much for joining. Keep your head up. Here's to Halloween Horror Nights 2021. Bigger party, bigger houses, bigger IPs. That's my prediction. Deuces.